What's up, guys? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Stay tuned for our Week 12 Dudes and Duds.
The Fantasy Football Dudes podcast.
What up, my dudes? This is Trent here with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. I am joined by Phil, Jordan, and Seth, and we are just hanging out, talking some football. And when I say hanging out, I don't mean anything at all like the Jaguars mascot in today's episode below the field goal post. But guys, you know, it's flannel season here in the Dude Den. I got my flannel sweats and fuzzy Crocs on, and I am ready to rock and roll with a couple acquaintances, dudes, I guess you could say. But
fellow acquaintances.
The fellow acquaintances, yeah. Dude acquaintances. I don't know what you would say. But Phil, you have an overall good weekend. We'll do a quick little weekend recap here, and then we'll get into, our Week 12 recap. Phil?
Yeah, no, I actually had a rough week. Besides, I had some family in town. That wasn't what made it rough, but
yeah, right.
I had some family in town, but then everyone got sick, and it was just like one of those things. Everything happened at the same time. I was not a restful holiday, I will say that, but back at it, getting some rest. Hopefully tonight, get back to normal next week. But feeling good. Repping my Tiger U sweater here. 12 year anniversary of playing in the NorCal Championship Bowl. So I thought I'd rep that today.
I always forget you're the only college athlete on this pod.
Feels weird to admit, but
it's an embarrassment, actually. Jordan, how you doing? You doing okay? Hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just good week of vacation, with the Thanksgiving break, and didn't get much sleep this week. Watching a lot of soccer. I know Trent loves that, so getting up early in the morning to watch the games, but yeah, it was a good day. Honestly, the football games kind of like they were good, but they weren't. I don't know.
They were pretty fun.
I enjoyed the slate.
Yeah, I thought it was actually a pretty good week.
The afternoon games kind of were just, I guess the Raiders Seahawks was really good. And
before we get into it, though, just as like a final recap, can we just clap it up for Trent? He put up his lights. Like walking in here, it felt pretty festive.
Put up his Christmas lights, yeah.
Put up his Christmas lights. It felt pretty festive.
Yeah. If anybody has any, we need a short strand of colored lights, which would be nice. I think here on the table, you can see our little setup here. I got some Christmas. I don't know what you would call that.
They're cheap at Home Depot.
Yeah, I just need to get some. And if someone wants to send those in or whatever, but yeah, we're getting a little festive here in the Dude Den. Yeah.
How long did it take you to do it?
How long did it take me to do it?
Yeah.
It probably took about 2 hours probably after you uncoil the lights or whatever. And
that's the hardest, most annoying
move
part.
move the ladders and stuff like that. And,
Did you do it or did your wife do it?
I saw a tweet, but
I saw a tweet of someone on the ladder with looked like shoes women would wear. I mean,
Uggs.
But yeah. Trent does wear those. He's known to wear.
I do not wear Uggs.
I'll wear Uggs periodically.
Actually, we have some Divas here later. Uggs is on my list, but I wasn't going to do it today. But you brought it up, Phil. I contributed. I did not get up on the ladder. There were some parts I did get on the ladder, but this peak right here, it's pretty high. Can you imagine me being on a ladder? Last time I was on a 100-foot ladder, I fell. Luckily, it was only the first step, but.
True story.
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. So yeah,
did the ladder fall with you?
No, it wasn't. It was no big deal.
Okay,
it
wasn't.
It's
not as funny as
as
I hoped.
It's not even a true story. That. It's just a total lie, honestly. Okay. Yeah, my wife did a lot of it.
You were there for moral support.
I am more of a supervisor type, I don't, it's like, I'm not the grunt, I'm more like, hey, looks better like this, and then,
Your wife's the grunt.
Yeah. She's got some grunt tendencies. Seth, how is Seth?
I might kill you, honestly, for saying that.
Seth, you watched the Seahawks game. I meant to bring this up with a little Raiders chant here. Seth, you watched it, basically in the black hole. You went to a Raiders party. You always make fun of those guys. You went and watched a game with them. How you doing? You don't have any black eyes or anything, so it looks like you're doing okay.
Well, it was a good time. I was actually really hoping the game was gonna be in Las Vegas because I drove just right through there a couple of days ago, and I was like, I could have just stayed another night and watched the game. But now I'm glad I didn't go because of how that tragic ending. But I actually thought it was a really fun game. Believe it or not, my friends who are Raiders fans, are still down bad about the season, and they still hate that coach, but they're happy they won the game.
Yeah.
This is their first big win.
Yeah, I think they're happy about it. But I mean, all I heard was the whole game was like, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
I hate this coach. Get rid of him. That's all, the whole game.
But
And I was like hoping you started talking trash early. Thankfully, you didn't.
No, I didn't really talk trash because I know they're already feeling bad about their team. So I didn't talk trash.
All right.
Seahawks, though, like that Russell Wilson trade's working out pretty good. As of right now, you're going to get the number 3 overall draft pick.
Yeah.
Is what it's looking like. So
Yeah,
that's
I'm pretty excited about it.
Can we feel bad for him?
No.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Why would I feel bad for him?
No.
He just, the dude is just like, he's just getting beat down. Like, I at this point, I kind of feel bad for the guy. Like, he's just.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was like your
brings
favorite.
He brings it onto himself for sure.
Phil, 4 months ago, he was your favorite person walking on the earth.
Yes,
so, like,
yes.
of course you feel bad for him.
I just like, I'm like, what? This dude's fall from grace has been so he took a nosedive. Like, he took a step off of, like, it's just been.
He fell off the ladder like Trent.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Except much higher.
Yes.
Although he's a little bit lighter, so I need to factor that into like.
probably a very equivalent fall.
Yeah, but like it's so bad. Like, he was a golden boy for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And like he
was your golden
No,
boy.
everyone's. Like, Colin Cowherd was like going off on like how he couldn't believe he never got an MVP. He had like MVP seasons, never got an MVP vote. Like, the guy won't even sniff an MVP conversation for the rest of his career if he continues to play this way. You know what I'm saying?
If Russell Wilson, I put this on Twitter today, can't you just see him being like one of the most annoying commentators in like 5 years or 10 years? Like, him just in the booth, like with Joe Buck, and just being like, tell this guy to be quiet.
There's no
Like,
way that anyone has him as a commentator.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did
Maybe
some
in the
kind of
studio,
something, like
in
some
the-
kind of Amazon Prime deal or something.
You're not thinking
Amazon's
like a Tony
in Seattle.
Romo type deal?
I don't think people like Russell Wilson.
Well,
2 years ago, people loved him though.
that's what I said. I just
like
said
it's
that. Yeah.
it definitely is.
Yeah,
He's
but
like
it's
not
gotten
liked.
worse in the last couple of years.
Well, here's the thing. Drew Brees was short-lived, and people love Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not like that entertaining. So I think that's what probably led to him going there. Russ is not entertaining, and he's extraordinarily weird. Like, he's just like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know.
Like, the guy is, he may be doing push-ups in the booth just to keep himself warm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what you're going to get with that guy. Like, yeah. And honestly, there was some weird commentating today. The Seahawks, he called the guy Homer for the whole drive.
Isn't that his name, Homer?
Homer, no L.
Homer. Wait, he
Homer.
called him what?
Holm, or like Holmes. Like, did you hear that, Seth?
I did.
Yeah, it was like, and it's like, then
Why is that bothering? It sounds like you're really bothered by this.
yeah, because he doesn't know his name. Like,
I get names wrong all the time.
No,
You
but
hate me too?
The guy,
But we know
I
you're
get
an
it, I
idiot,
get it. Yeah. the guy he's an NFL commentator. Like, he does pregame, like they do pregame stuff. And don't get me wrong, they had 3 different running backs: DJ Dallas, Walker, and then Homer were all playing. But he called him Homer the entire. It was just. I think that's what he said. I'm trying to remember the name that he said, but that might be my diva. Actually, this guy had no idea what he was talking about, and he was also like, I think they meant not to mute a specific part, and he's like, yeah, I just hate that boxing analogy, and he's like, why do you hate that boxing analogy? He's like, I just don't like boxing. It's like, what are we talking? Did you hear that part?
I didn't.
Yeah, it
For
was.
all of our listeners not on the West Coast who probably did not watch this game
Nor
at all,
care.
they're just like are really mad with you probably.
Yeah, they were probably just like, oh, Horner. That's what he was calling him, not Homer. He kept calling him Horner the entire game.
I will call him Horner the rest of my life from now on.
Hey,
just to
Jordan,
make you
wouldn't that
mad.
annoy you?
Yeah.
You know, I will say this though: if you think about an R and an N right next to each other, it could be mistaken like as an M. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
give
saying?
the guy a break, Phil. He's probably old
will
and
say
doesn't have
that.
good eyes.
Hor-
Don't.
Horner.
Whatever you're about to say, just
Yes.
stop, okay? Don't say it. Jaguars mascot, was that one of the weirdest things we've seen a mascot do?
After the game, Jordan dressed up like him.
Jordan, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say.
He does like we don't know if that's like actually under that sweater. It kind of looks like the same color shirt.
What if that was Jordan?
Yeah. Jordan, what's up with your team, man? Honestly,
what
now
about-
that they won, that guy may
He
be
needs
back
to keep
next
doing it.
He
week.
needs to keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, if I'm a kicker and I see somebody underneath the field goal post in a Speedo, like I might actually be like, this is weird. That was a weird deal. Did he do it just for Justin Tucker or what? Like, what was it?
I have no idea.
It might
think he
have
was
been a
there the whole
deranged
game.
fan.
Yeah.
It might have been like a deranged fan. They're like, oh, this is the mascot today.
He was kind of jacked.
Yeah. Don't they have a swimming pool at Jacksonville?
Yeah, it was swimming pool there.
So maybe that guy just like jumped off the swimming pool. Like, what was
I don't know.
So just put that on there.
That's
like,
gotta be one of the weirdest
look it
things
up
I've
and-
seen in
We'll
a
probably
while.
get flagged on YouTube for showing it, but
I was almost, that was like, I think that was a bigger highlight of the game than the Jags actually winning. Like everyone was talking about that, right?
oh yeah. I got an alert about that. But yeah, check us out on YouTube at Fantasy Football Dudes. If you want to watch this, we'll have our dudes and duds on there, and maybe this will make it there too. But are you sure? Are you
Just
sure?
so awkward.
Are you sure?
This is so stupid.
I'm going to give the Jaguars credit for doing something like that. Get them in the media. I'm just hopefully they don't take it
The
a little
problem
farther.
is they won the game. They beat the Ravens.
They got to
Like,
keep doing that.
They beat the Ravens. Huge win. Like Trevor Lawrence, like career defining. I think career changing like arc moment for him. Like like he that's the drive. Like that's the drive that all young quarterbacks need to kind of like. He went down and won a game. So
Yeah.
and with
And
2
Zay
minutes
Jones.
left, like
Zay Jones.
yeah, he just made some incredible throws that whole entire drive.
Were you just in like, how'd you feel after the game? Did you treat yourself to like a nice little ice cream sandwich? Like anything? Okay.
You just
Did
won
you
the
shed,
game.
did you
like,
shed a tear?
No,
Did
kind
you
of an
order a
emotional
Trevor
win.
Lawrence jersey?
no.
I was pretty sad after the Seahawks lost, just if that makes you feel better.
Seth, what are you looking up over there that you're
It's so
giggling at?
stupid.
You're
I'm
still
looking at-
watching the mascot?
I'm looking at the video of him like just jumping during the.
The kick,
During the
Justin Tucker's
kick,
kick.
it's
For
so
what it's
stupid.
worth, I thought Justin Tucker's kick, that 67-yarder, I thought he was going to hit it to win the
It
game.
actually was close. Believe
It
it
like
or not.
was right on line, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
What? How many? Is that his? That can't be his only miss this season. Is
No,
it?
he has another miss, but it's like in his 60s too.
It's
It's
deep.
another like 60-yard kick.
Okay.
yeah. Or more.
Were you gonna say something, Jordy?
No,
McVay's tooth, like did you guys see that? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
He got nailed.
coaches shouldn't be allowed to coach if they have a concussion. Like he should maybe gone to protocol for that. Like he got absolutely hammered. Did you see that, Seth?
Yeah, I did. It looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
And he responded well though. He didn't like get upset. And you know what? I honestly blame his handler.
But the handler's more of like, don't get past the don't go on the field. The handler's not like looking to his left. Like
I feel like the handler's at fault in that position. Fire the handler. Let's start a petition to make
He
one of the
has,
guys
like,
on
one
this
of-
pod the handler. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jordan? The handler, like the guy who
give
hugs,
back
the
coach.
guy who
Give back coach.
basically
he has
hugs
one of the
his
best
hips.
ones though, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's all-time handler. Like he literally, they don't have like an all-star team for that. Like you might as well just throw him on special teams. To be quite honest with you, the guy they need to have that for
Seth,
the Pro Bowl.
reach out to the Rams handler. We want him on the pod.
Yes.
So find
That
out who
would
that
be-
is. We will fill up those DMs and get him on here. But we just want to know about the handler and if that really is his fault.
I feel like it kind of is, right?
I think you could maybe where it's a little bit of a
He
bold
literally
take.
will hook him like almost like a bull. What do they call the bull guys? What do they talk?
a bullfighter.
Yeah, bullfighter. He basically is like a bullfighter with McVay sometimes in terms of reining him in.
I don't know what to say to that. Lions win streak is over. Should we have a moment of silence for that, Phil?
I'm good with that.
Okay, ready? Go. Seth, take your hat off. Show some respect.
I'm not good with this moment of silence. I'm
The
interrupting
Lions.
it.
When was the last time the Lions won 3 games, Jordan, in a row?
I don't know. Good for them. Like we
They'll
don't need to
probably
give-
put a banner in Ford Field for this.
probably.
Honestly, the fact that the Jaguars got away with just a completely weird mascot to win a game, like who knows what like other teams are going to be pulling out when they go on a losing streak.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
The sky's the limit. Sky's
Sky-
the limit. Yeah.
Yeah.
They said if they would have lost, the outfit next week might have got their mascot kicked out of the league.
Oh my god.
Zay Jones, outstanding game. Is there anything
This
else?
is like his really
kinda-
big. This is like his biggest game, wouldn't you say, Jordan? This year, definitely.
Or of
Zay?
his
Yeah.
career, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
definitely.
good. It was a big game for him.
Does the Bengals offense look better with Samaje Perine?
Maybe, but I mean, like,
I don't know.
it wasn't like their offense looked great.
Yeah.
They need Jamar Chase back. I think he'll be back next week.
Seth, did you see Brian Robinson's big old hat he wore after the game?
Yeah, I think he shouted out whoever made the hat for him.
It's a
too.
friend that has big hats, but
Yeah, I'm just like, who's gonna buy those hats?
I
But think
so
we actually,
weird.
Trent. Maybe you should buy like a Cowboys one or something. We can throw it up as a prop in here.
just buy like 9 of them just so I don't know.
Well, here's how they would be
I
cool
think it's
if
a
you
cool.
put it.
I think it's a cool prop.
Yeah,
know,
if you
but-
put it on the front of your house, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
If you're
Cover my
diehard, you're not
chimney.
married. Like that might be okay.
Yeah, I don't know if my wife would let me have that.
No,
in my house.
I agree. I wouldn't be able to put a.
You can't even drive with that on.
You put it on the top of your car.
It would be a really nice
that would,
car hat.
I would be okay with that over the reindeer antlers that the people put on the cars. Like absolutely 100%. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that time of the year, Phil.
I don't even know how that thing was staying on. Like
I'm just seeing this. This is the hat you're talking
did it
about.
have extra padding in it?
It
Seth,
looked-
pull
it
it up,
looked-
pull
it
it
looks
up.
so.
So it's like
I
a
don't-
7 and
it
a
looks like
half.
it looks
but it's
like it looks like Lord Helmet from Spaceballs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's legitimately what it looks like is Lord Helmet.
Why would someone make a? I don't know what to say to that. Like
So
he said,
stupid.
his friend has a big hat company. So if you want a hat, let me know. If you want a big hat, like
Brian, I want a hat, so let me know what my next
Let's
step
get one
is.
for McVay's.
If you want a
handler.
big hat, Brian Robinson knows a guy.
yeah.
Did you see the one him wearing it in the when Ron Rivera is giving like the post game speech?
I am not. Is that
There's one too where he's dapping up Heineke too.
Oh yeah, this thing is humongous.
and Heineke's probably just like, what in the heck? Actually, probably Heineke put it on, and also like the post game celebrations are getting weirder. The big hat, Kirk Cousins has all the chains, no shirt type deal. Like,
What was weirder, the big hat or the Jaguars mascot?
I think the big hat's almost weirder.
no, I
The mascot looks like the hot Cheetos, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
cheetah with a Speedo on.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty weird.
And one of the beat writers said he's wearing a hat that makes him look like Toad from Mario.
Well, let's keep going here, guys. Today's Divas are brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. You pick 2 to 6 player and over under on their projections. You can win up to 25 times an entry. Is that right, Jordan?
Yeah,
Six
25
man.
for a 6 time. Yeah, man, I almost had a college football one. I think it was Friday, and it was actually for 30 because they did a promo.
Yeah.
I think I was one guy short. That was a little frustrating.
But yeah, it's just you versus the projected numbers. Promo code DUDES, and they will match you up to $100. It really helps us out, guys. Go to Prize Picks. Promo code DUDES really helps us out. And we have a Prize Picks thread in our Dude Nation Discord, so go check that out in our show notes. And we like to share some picks and all that fun stuff. So Divas of the Week, we're going to do some Divas here. And these are just things, for those of you new to our show, a diva is just something that we kind of say that's kind of ticked us off this week or has always ticked us off. And just a little something we do before we get into our dudes and duds. So who wants to go first on these divas?
I'll
Phil,
be
you
honest,
wanna
I
go?
don't know if I have a diva this week.
You don't have a diva?
I have one, but it's not. It's it's current. I would say it's very much related to the holiday, I think, and very much related to the Christmas holiday because you kind of eat similar foods at both, right? I would say,
Yeah.
and
I do
know-
not eat similar foods at both.
really.
At Thanksgiving and Christmas?
You don't do a turkey at Christmas?
No.
What do you do at Christmas?
It just depends. But definitely
prime
not.
rib or
no,
something like
yeah,
that?
not actually probably not even salmon usually at Christmas or just
Salmon.
different.
I feel like that one's kind of out there, Jordan.
I do not even eat anything that I eat at Thanksgiving.
Trent,
Maybe
what do
mashed potatoes, that'd be the only thing.
Do you eat something similar? Like at my Thanksgiving, this Thanksgiving that I had, I smoked a tri-tip. I smoked turkey breast, like turkey breast, and then I also did ham. So I did those, and I probably at Christmas I might throw a couple steaks on. Like I would do something similar, and then also have similar sides as I'd have at Thanksgiving.
It's pretty similar, I would say.
Like what is the big
We don't
tamales? I also
have
have
turkey.
tamales. I also have tamales.
I wish I had tamales at my Christmas.
The only time I ever eat turkey is during Thanksgiving.
Not at Christmas at all, huh?
No.
Not even ground turkey.
Okay, okay. That's a little different.
Trent, so yeah, so you're pretty similar, right? The two holidays, Trent, for you or no?
Pretty similar. Like nothing like. The desserts kind of are similar, I will say.
Well, yeah,
It's probably,
I mean, but are we-
Desserts are, yeah. Seth, is your Thanksgiving meal and your Christmas meal similar?
Yeah, it's like similar food, but usually like we don't have turkey.
Yeah, same. Like I may or may
Water
not
at
do
both.
turkey.
Like no stuffing, no like
Oh, okay. So I'll do stuff.
no sweet potatoes. Like
Really? Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
it's like way different.
So, and that might be something that we ask people, like, is their Christmas dinner similar to their Thanksgiving dinner, with the exception of a handful of things? Anyhow, my diva, and it's not about the person who did this. It wasn't my wife. It's someone I'm related to who's not, it's just someone I'm related to. But it's not them specifically that I'm saying this about. It's just like general.
Is this someone? Is there a possibility they maybe listen to the pod?
They don't. I don't think they do.
Oh, then just you're free, man. Just throw the name out.
But I have a problem with, and maybe I'm the diva for this, I have a problem with people who put things that shouldn't be microwaved, especially for me specifically. There are specific items at Thanksgiving that don't go in the microwave. You need to reheat them either on the stove top or in an oven, just so that you can maintain like a similar level of flavor and enjoyment to that specific thing. Stuffing, as an example. You don't put stuffing in the microwave. Smells weird, in my opinion, in the microwave. It like gets mushy, I think, in the microwave. Whereas in like the oven, it has like a perfect level of crisp and like moisture to it, if you get what I'm saying.
You make stuffing in the microwave, Phil.
Am I off here, Trent?
Stovetop stuffing is the only stuffing
No,
that
but
you
like
eat.
homemade homemade stuffing
No,
is...
stovetop stuffing is the best.
I've never had the other stuff, but the
Stovetop-
stovetop does smell bad. I will say.
so you have stovetop? You only do
Stovetop is elite.
Okay,
elite
okay,
stuffing. Like
okay.
if we're ranking
Well,
stuffing, it's stovetop
so
and nothing else.
No, I have never had stovetop stuffing.
Oh my!
I have always had. I've always had.
That's the
homemade
most
stuffing.
undude thing that'll be said
No,
on this
I've
pod.
always had homemade stuffing, and it's the best stuffing. And you don't put it in the microwave. That's
No,
that's my
this
biggest
is
problem.
such a
So
bad
maybe I'm the
take.
diva. But regardless, of
Regardless, I want to try your homemade stuffing.
that, you won't.
The only
you'll
time I
try
ever had
some.
homemade stuffing, it was horrible.
I'm sorry. Anyhow,
Stovetop box stuffing is like the
I
best
will
thing.
take for your word for it. But my point still stands. You don't stick certain items in the microwave that need to be reheated in the oven or on the stovetop. And so someone in my family did that, not knowing my rule, right? Because that's kind of a rule I have at my house. Like if it's something that
I feel sorry for your kids.
if it's something that I
They're
designed
like,
to
I
be,
really want to eat these leftovers, but Dad said that I have to make it in the oven, and I can't do that.
yeah,
so
I think that.
So
I
you
think to
can't just throw
enjoy
something-
the culinary art behind it. You need to reheat it in the way that it was displayed initially for specific items. There are some items.
What else can't go in the microwave?
Yeah, so stuffing. What else?
Various breads. Like there's certain breads that if you put them in the microwave, they'll get too soft when they get overly
Who
hot.
puts bread in the microwave?
Exactly.
No,
that's
I
that's
do.
what I'm saying.
I'll do like rolls. You put the roll in for like
So Seth, that's the exact same thing. Just
Sure, yeah, but-
exactly.
no,
So
you
that-
throw the roll in for 10 seconds, so it's a little
this
softer.
is
and
the
then,
easy fix. This is the easy fix. Hey, do you put this in the microwave or do you reheat it in the oven? And then I just say, oh yeah, you could put that in the microwave, or no, put that in the oven, please, to reheat. Like
So you're a
it's
microwave cop.
I am a microwave cop.
This might be the most astonishing thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth. Like,
you really you
It's
throw
astonishing,
everything.
but not nearly close to the most astonishing.
So you have no problem putting everything in the microwave?
that's what the microwave is for.
That's sickening. To me, that's sickening. All I'm saying is that not all things belong.
This is like the
in
most
microwave.
diva thing that like is possible that you do not like putting things in the microwave.
I'm surprised that I'm getting
Are you
more
not-
heat for liking for this than the Justin.
do you
Bieber
not
take
eat
I had last
leftovers
week.
either?
No, I eat leftovers, but that's what I'm saying. I eat leftovers, but some leftovers are designed to go back in the oven or stove or on the stovetop and not in the microwave.
But the purpose of leftovers is you pull it out of the fridge, you throw it in the microwave, eat something quick,
Coming from the guy who eats the stovetop stuffers, sure, maybe I'll take that. I don't know.
Stovetop stuffing is the best.
It is really good.
I'll take your word for it. All I'm saying is that yes, I understand the microwave.
And you don't have to put it in the oven.
Yeast,
you can put it back in the microwave.
But if I have the day off, I'm going to take my time and make the food how it's intended to be eaten. That's all I'm saying. So all I'm asking for is for people to say, hey, do you want this in the microwave or reheated in the way?
Man, I feel sorry for your kids. They're gonna have a rough life. They're like, man, I just want to eat
It's
lunch.
not everything. Like a slice of
pizza.
pizza, you just throw that in the microwave, no problem.
But it was
right?
made in the oven.
No, no. I think you're missing my point. Some things taste better.
I don't know what.
Some things taste better reheated in the way that they were initially cooked. Other things, it's acceptable to throw them in the microwave.
Who said it's acceptable?
Me. That would be me. I am the person.
He is the microwave cop.
Yes.
So
You've heard of hall monitors? This is a step
So
right
you
below
don't
him.
You don't see his badge?
So the problem is Jordan thinks I have to reheat everything in the same way it was cooked. No, I'm saying that there are some items that it's acceptable going to the microwave, and there are some items that they absolutely have to be reheated in the way that they were cooked initially.
Well, you go ahead and give me a list, and we'll go from
I
there.
would
Stuffing is
actually,
one.
I would like to see this list, and we'll put it on our Instagram.
Stuffing
Things
is-
that you can't put in the microwave.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, tinfoil. What else?
I also have a problem with reheating mashed potatoes in the microwave. I think that's gross.
Oh my god!
Wait, that's bad. Like that's like the
How you
where else
supposed
do you heat it up?
Stove.
How do you reheat them?
this has gone on far too long. I'm gonna have to-
Little butter and some extra milk, and you whip it up. Sometimes it gets even creamier than what it
It
was.
sounds like
initially.
you're just
Okay,
trying to like
so-
make more mashed potatoes.
Yeah, just make new mashed
making
potatoes.
it better. Yeah.
I think you don't. Trent, my
Hey, here's
diva
the
just
thing.
is like,
Here's the thing.
People like
here's
Phil
the thing.
are my divas.
Enjoy your boring life, Jordan. You're not going to enjoy the flavor that
No,
I get.
you know what it
after
is, Phil?
each meal when I
Here's the thing,
recook
Phil.
it.
I'm an actual guy who likes to watch sports. And so, instead of like being like, I'm going to spend 45 minutes reheating the food that was cooked last night, I'm just going to throw it in the microwave for a minute and then go sit down and eat it while I watch the football game.
Well, I'm glad
Not miss
I'm glad you enjoy that, but your explanation was lame. So let's just move on.
You are literally spending 45 minutes reheating
No,
leftovers.
it's less than that. It's way less. The problem is that you've never taken a step
He's
out
like-
of your
he's like-
no, you've never taken a step out of your comfortable little bubble, Jordan, and just realize that what I'm describing here will take you to the next step in like life. You have enjoyment of food, whereas you're okay with the subpar. I'm not. I'm exceptional.
I
And
don't
that's-
think
and
it's
that's what I require of the people around me.
This is like,
And obviously, that as a coach, I would think you would understand that, but this
this is like this is like next level bad take from Phil. Like this is like
As
the
a
worst.
coach, I thought you would understand.
I'm trying to cut this off like 12 times, and here we are
This is
talking
up-
about things that don't belong in a microwave.
This is up there with Phil's top golf take, for what it's worth.
No, top
I
golf
love
is
that
worse.
you hate it.
It's up there though. Like it's right there. Like
No.
it's a notch below, but it's there. Like
I think if
It's
you,
pretty close.
I think if you tried something outside of the microwave, you might be like, "Oh wow, Phil's right again."
I'll let Trent move on.
My diva of the
Sorry.
week, and it kind of goes back at Jordan and Seth last week, just going full circle. But I sat down and thought about this, and it's just whether it's mothers, hostess, people who don't offer doggy bags after holiday events. You know what I mean? Who needs 2 weeks worth of leftovers of Thanksgiving food? You know what I'm saying? Like, your host should have given each of you guys
Yeah.
a doggy bag and said, here, take this home. I don't need, 900 rolls and mashed potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because Phil apparently would have to take him another 30 minutes to reheat the mashed potatoes, so it could take him even longer.
It's 10 minutes max.
10 minutes.
Phil, I'm
also
happy you have a ton of time on your hands. to
I'm
do
also
stuff like that.
streaming the game on my phone while I'm doing it. We live in
spends-
2022.
Do you-
Phil
Jordan.
spends 45 minutes of his hour lunch reheating his food, and he only has 15 minutes to eat
Like,
it.
man, I had to scarf this down. They're
are
like,
you
you had a
doing?"
pizza pocket. Do you guys agree with that, though? A host not giving out doggy bags? Like, I'm calling out Jordan and Seth's host of their Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
No one needs 19 pumpkin pies or whatever it is you had at your family Thanksgiving. They should have sent something home.
Yeah, no, I can kind of, I can get what you're saying.
I think most people are open just to be like, hey, take stuff if you want, right? No, the host doesn't want to keep everything.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like general knowledge.
Yeah, I
they
think
feel
that
like
was
you can
more
take
on like
stuff.
me not taking stuff. Like I'm sure I could have took stuff if I wanted to.
Sounds like you're just being.
I'd be a jerk if I took the whole pie, right? But
No, I think that what you say, what needs to happen is the opportunity to take something home.
Yes.
Like, hey, I have like these gallon Ziploc bags. Would you like to take a couple things home?
If you're hosting a party, supply doggy bags. Take whatever you want.
Okay, Jordan, back to your point. Okay, you can Ziploc bag like 14 Thanksgiving meals, and you're set for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I can kind of agree to Trent's point. Like, especially if you're
Especially when it takes me a minute to heat up in the
exactly.
microwave.
If it only takes you a minute, you throw it on a glass plate. Hopefully, you're not putting on something metal, although I wouldn't put it past you. In the microwave, heat it up, and then you're good to go.
Pro tip: wrap baked potatoes.
You ever heard of,
potatoes
like-
in tinfoil, then throw in the microwave for 9 minutes. Just go in the other room.
And it charges your phone, I think.
Do not do that. Do not do that. That is not a life hack. Do we have any other divas here? Seth, you're being kind of quiet back there. Besides, a couple snorts here or there, hearing you laugh. But no divas.
Phil's my diva.
He's always my diva.
Let's get on. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Let's move
Let's
on.
hop into our dudes and duds. And whether you hate the people in your life or love them, you should tell them about the dudes. We bring people together. The highest compliment our dudes can give us is a referral of their family and friends. Just remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Also, sign up for our dudes letter. We have our waivers email, and Dad Moves comes out on Thursday. Now let's recap our starts and sits before we get into our recap here. So my start of the week, I had Jeff Wilson and James Conner. That was a weird game with the Dolphins and Texans. Just Jeff Wilson didn't get it done, I would say.
He was fine. For
He had touchdown, right?
Yeah, he
for
did
the
have a
matchup, I
touchdown.
thought he should have been better.
He ended up getting double-digit points, though, right?
Yeah, 11 points. So it passes, but it's not like maybe I'm being a diva, holding my starts up to higher standards.
No. It's just like for where he's a waiver wire pickup anyways, probably. Like it's not the end of the world. He was enough. It was enough.
Yeah. And then James Conner had a great game. He what was he? He was running back 6 in half-point PPR this week. He had 18.5 points. So James Conner. So I had a good start there. Jordan, you want to get into your starts you had here?
Yeah, my first one, man, Miles Sanders just absolutely just had a great game. 29.5 fantasy points, 2 touchdowns, 143 yards on 21 carries. So just great game from Miles Sanders. Crushed that one. And then my other one was, Gabe. Yeah, I as good as Miles Sanders was, Gabe Davis was that bad. So I think he had 8 points. I don't even know.
Yeah,
I 5 points.
Yeah, I
points,
started
yeah.
Gabe Davis in the league, and it was
Just the
unfortunate.
guy keeps letting me down. I think it's time maybe just bail on the guy. Like he was in such a good spot, and I mean all the work went to McKenzie. I don't know.
Yeah, the McKenzie one was weird.
Yeah. So I just that was a miss. So I nailed Miles Sanders and missed just as bad on Gabe Davis.
Should we I don't even like McKenzie. Is he a guy? Should we look at him on the waiver
Yeah, I
wire?
mean, you
Like
can.
he was his start. I'm trying to pull this up here, but his start, he was 8% started. He's had, maybe, you never know. My sits of the week, I had Kirk Cousins on primetime, and he made me look pretty silly on that one. Like, he had a great game.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side of the ball, Mac Jones had a good game, too. We haven't, maybe he's finally getting that together. But, yeah, Kirk Cousins' primetime game, he had a good game. So, good job, Kurt, I guess I could say. My other sit was Alvin Kamara versus San Francisco. He had 2 points. He fumbled the ball twice.
He only had 2 points. Wow, I did not watch barely any of that game.
That game was absolutely terrible. It
Yeah.
was so bad to watch.
What was the final score?
It was
in
like
that
13
one?
or 10-0.
Yeah, that was.
It was a terrible game. And I don't think anyone
Well,
in that
they
I don't
fumbled
think,
in the red zone like 3 times.
I don't think anyone in that game had more than 10 fantasy points. Anyone on either side of the ball.
maybe the defense.
The defense had the most points, right?
So yeah, he had 2 points, and he had where's the fumbles here?
He fumbled
He had 2 fumbles, and they lost both of them.
yeah, and he fumbled one like on the 1 yard line.
So 3 out of 4 there for me. And then Jordan, you had your sits. You had David Montgomery. You maybe wouldn't have sat him if you knew Justin Fields wasn't playing.
Yeah, I mean he. He's one of those ones where he had 13 points. Like, I don't know. 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 He had 13 points. Like, I don't you're not happy about it, but it doesn't kill you either. So it's kind of like one of those things where like it's probably like a neutral kind of on the sit. Like, yeah, you're probably, you know what I'm saying?
He might have been a little bit better than you thought.
Yeah, I didn't get it right, but I didn't get it wrong either.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
And then on Alan Lazard, only had 3.4 points. So I know Christian Watson had the long touchdown. Yeah, so I think I got that one right. So
I think you gotta almost have to start Watson every game at this point, right? 6 touchdowns in 3 games.
Well, the other thing is you're talking about Christian Watson, right?
Yeah.
The other thing with that is Jordan Love. Like, is it looking like they said they want to keep Rodgers for like as long as he wants to play, so they're talking about not playing him. Potentially, he said.
Oh, the rest of the year?
The coach, what is it? LaFleur said something after the game. You know, like, hey, we're in it with the long haul with this guy. Like, so it's Sunday night. We don't know too much right
who
now.
knows?
So I just, just some coaches speak. But yeah, Christian Watson. I started Gabe Davis over him, and I also started Gabe Davis over Samaje Perine. So that was unfortunate to have those two guys not starting. But let's get into our quarterback dudes here. Phil, if you want to read those off for us, and then we'll get into some duds. Like, you got those dudes there, Phil? You can read the top 6 for us?
So Allen at 29.9, Hurts at 28.8, Herbert at 28.8, Murray at 26.2, and then Mike White closing out the top 5 at 24.8. So pretty big game for Mike White. Did you like him, Jordy, today? Did you watch?
Yeah, I didn't watch much of that game. It wasn't really on. Well, because I think when all the scoring was happening, I was in church, and then when I got home, it was mostly just running touchdowns. So
So he was 22 for 28, threw for 315 yards, and had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
like that's a pretty big day. When he had that big blowout game last year, I think it was right around the same stats that he put out, right? You
sounds right.
That in that game he won, I can't remember who he played, but yep.
And then I said on our pod last Thursday, the Wednesday episode, we were a day earlier this past week, that I thought this might be a week where maybe the quarterbacks fell back to earth, I think I said, or did I say that I thought that they might all do okay, like the quarterbacks were getting better?
No, you said they thought it was going to be a bad quarterback
I said I thought it'd be a bad quarterback week.
It was not a bad
It was not a bad quarterback week because I'm looking at the duds here and like we got Dak Prescott as a dud, for example.
Like 15 points.
15 points.
Yeah.
It probably didn't kill you, but you take those 2 picks away. Some leagues have minus points for interceptions. That's -4. Right there, have been nice.
But I mean, he's at like QB 15 with
QB 18.
So it's like that's
it's not good.
It's not good. Like that's not who you want from your guy you're starting. So
Yeah. And what else? What other duds we
Russell
got on there?
Wilson ended up at quarterback 30.
now that's a dud.
That's a
That's
dud.
bad. 7.5 points.
He's he's unrosterable, I think.
Well, who
think
was
so.
yelling at him again? The defensive lineman.
Purcell, I believe was his last name.
Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
Did you see it, Seth?
I saw it.
It was
Yeah.
something. The guy said they were on the same page after the game, but who knows
Yeah.
what really happened?
Same page saying you're playing terrible, and he probably said, "Yeah, I know I'm playing terrible. I'm trying to improve it." And he's
And
like,
he's probably like, I don't care that I'm playing terrible.
Probably like, yeah, well, I'm going to yell run pass for you, so because I'm that kind of a teammate.
I mean, Jordan Love scored more fantasy points than Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
Jordan Love actually looked pretty good.
Kyle Allen, Andy Dalton, Bryce Perkins, Trevor Siemian, all scored more fantasy points than Russell Wilson.
yeah.
Sam Darnold.
Taylor Heineke, Ryan Tannehill, Jimmy G.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Who else we got on there, Phil? You said Russ. We said Dak.
Russ. We had Dak on there. We can also, I don't know where you really want to draw the line. I mean, Rodgers, but 11.5, Dalton 10.3, Kyle Allen.
I
but,
think
like,
I think Tua's kind of a dud this week.
for what you're expecting out of him.
Yeah, I
it's a
mean,
dud.
he's QB 16. Like that's not getting it done for Tua.
Yep.
He didn't get the touchdowns because he threw for 299 yards, but only 1 touchdown pass. And they sat him too, like they.
It's a good. That's
and
a
then
good
the
point.
Tex, but still, that's
But it all is
late in the
part of
season, you
like
need those
what,
wins.
yeah.
all right.
And it just didn't go his way in terms they had 1 pick 6 and then 1 where they just
Yeah, I
ran
mean,
it in.
the
It was-
variance went against him a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get into our running back dudes and duds of the week here. Josh Jacobs with 45.3 points on Phil and Seth's Seahawks. He's trying to get paid. I don't know if he'll re-sign with the Raiders or what he'll do, but I think he's going to be able to go on the open market and get some serious cash. But how all these recent running back signings have gone, it'll be interesting to see how that ends up. I don't think anyone really wants to pay a running back.
And is that kind of
days.
Zeke's fault?
Zeke's fault, Todd Gurley's fault. Maybe Todd Gurley looks worse than Zeke at the moment,
Todd Gurley's not playing anymore.
I know,
you're saying
but
like that
how,
signing, yeah.
How old is Todd Gurley? He's
30.
Yeah.
Or no, he might be 28. He's pretty young. But I think Zeke's might have been worse. Todd Gurley's not playing anymore.
Yeah,
So
like
that's definitely
he
worse.
fell off. Yeah, he's 28 years old is Todd Gurley.
Yeah, 28. And I was telling Seth this actually. I'm pretty sure Josh Jacobs is a weird stat, so I remembered it. Josh Jacobs in the third quarter, his average rushing yard is 7.
Wow.
That's crazy.
He just gets better as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33 carries, 229 yards, 6 receptions for 74 yards. Running back 2, Jordan Star of the Week, Miles Sanders, 29.5 points. Then Nick Chubb at 19.7 points. Austin Eckler, running back 4, 19.5. Brian Robinson, running back 5 with 19.5. And then James Conner, my star of the week, at running back 6 with 18.5. There were a lot of dud running backs this week, and I don't even know if I have them all here. I got Cordero Patterson, just under 10 points. Devin Singletary, which that seemed like that was a good game script for Devin Singletary. It's turning more and more into timeshare up there in Buffalo. Dameon Pierce, I think
His offense is too bad.
Have you seen his stat, though? Like his last 16 carries, he has 15 yards.
Because their offense is horrible
Yeah.
and they're just stacking the box.
Antonio Gibson, Tony Pollard, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry finished pretty good. I think I put
No,
this
he
one-
didn't. He didn't.
Okay, he needed that.
No,
touchdown.
but it's what you're expecting
that
from
fumble.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, how many points? He had 12 points. So
But
like,
what's
that's-
his so that he's
Yeah.
that touchdown and then not a fumble, he'd have like
Trent,
19
he's
points.
running back 21 in the week.
Yeah.
That's not what you expected. That's a dud from Derrick Henry.
The
This
thing
is
is,
a-
if,
this-
but
Derrick
again-
Henry does get that touchdown, he's number 7 or number 6.
Yeah, that's who he is. He is extremely touchdown
Yeah.
dependent.
This is a weird running back week because Devin Singletary's running back 30 and he is 8 points. Maybe that's pretty normal that I'm saying that. But
How about Jermichael Hasty, Jordan, showing up in the top 10?
Yeah, I mean he filled in for ETN, so
yeah, and Travis Horner had 12 points. So he had
I actually didn't get to
he had
watch
more
the-
he had more points than Derrick Henry. So 12.3 versus 12.2. It's hard for me to throw a dud in there for a double digit guy though. But
No,
like for
but
Henry,
it's-
it is probably a
it's
dud. Yeah.
what do you expect out of Derrick
big
Henry?
dead this week, McCaffrey.
CMC and is
Like 5
Elijah
points.
Yeah, that's
Elijah Mitchell out.
Sprained MCL.
Yeah,
So I mean that was a bad one.
that was a bad one.
DeAndre Swift like 4 points. Michael Carter, I mean people probably played him after.
Yeah.
And he had like 5-6 points. He got hurt, but like the whole Derrick Henry thing for me, Trent, is just you're expecting him to be a top 10 running back at the minimum, right? And when he finishes out of the top 20, he's not even RB2 on the week. He's an RB3. Like
Yeah.
that's not. But again, like Derrick Henry, you're touchdown dependent.
Like
so.
Deonta Foreman, he had 11 points. He had 24 carries for 113 yards versus Denver. Like
But
that is
so the double digit from a guy like him is different than the double
Yeah.
digit than 12 from Derrick Henry.
yeah.
expectation.
Yeah, it's your expectation of what you need from him for your team to win. Like your team's probably built around Derrick Henry.
So Jordan, I'm gonna throw this over to you. You can do our wide receiver dudes and duds here.
Yeah, so the wide receivers, we have number 1, Justin Jefferson, 2, Garrett Wilson with the huge game, 3, Amon-Ra St. Brown, number 4, Chris Godwin, 5, Phil's guy, and now my guy, Zay Jones.
Is he finally your guy now, Jordan?
Yeah,
like
Zay's-
you'll claim him now?
Yeah, Zay's awesome.
Yeah.
And then
Knuckle here. Here we go. With that.
Air Nuck. Anyways,
and then at 6 is T. Higgins. So T. Higgins just continues to do really well without Jamar Chase. We'll see what that looks like when Jamar Chase comes back.
I think T. Higgins is going to be a steal in next year's drafts also. Because you're just going to be able to get him so
Yeah.
much later than Jamar Chase, and he's a solid wide receiver too that's going to finish with a lot of one upside.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I do think he was drafted pretty high.
Was
this
Yeah,
year.
he was drafted pretty high this year.
Yeah.
Some duds like Tyreek Hill at wide receiver 26 with 12 points. Jalen Waddle was at wide receiver 30 with 11 points. Let me see who else do we have here, Trent.
Mike Evans?
Yeah,
Didn't have a great
Mike
game.
Evans, Gabe Davis, Darnell Mooney got hurt. I think he might be out for the year.
Are we to the point?
Devontae, I think Devontae's there, like just not a good game. Terry McLaurin was in a great spot and just didn't come through. Debo, like,
Are we to the point with Gabe Davis where we don't need to throw him on the duds list sometimes? Like, I know just with that Bills offense, you're expecting
Trent, he was
the
like a
boom.
4th round draft pick this year.
Yeah.
And he's not hurt. He's not like, oh, you know, a guy that just tilted the crap out of me this week.
Phil's microwave take?
No.
Oh, okay.
DJ Moore.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, yes.
It's like I finally decide to just like, okay, I'm done. Not dropping him, but not starting him. And then it's like the guy goes out and has 20 fantasy points. It's just like or however many it was. Like just very frustrating. I can't get that guy right. I'll probably start him next week and he'll probably go back to
Well, they're on bye for what it's worth, so that'll help you out.
Sam Darnold, I think, is better for DJ Moore though.
The chemistry's just there. It's nice. Sam Darnold, he's playing for his career really at this point. Maybe if
I
he
have some
can
good
throw it.
teams with DJ Moore, so hopefully that will continue.
Yeah. So tight end dudes and duds. Weird tight end week, Phil. Like Mark Andrews, I have as a dud on here, but he finished as like tight end 11.
That's not good
It
enough.
was just-
But
it was
you
just
need Mark Andrews to be a tight end. Top
Mark
3.
Andrews did drop a wide open touchdown.
He had a weird day today, huh?
He dropped a
Had a fumble.
wide open touchdown. It was so sad.
I think he's a little banged up. Still, I know he's banged up. I think he's playing through more than what people are thinking, though. But
What
yeah.
I was going to think, sorry, one thing I was looking for is where did Mike White's stats all go to?
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Elijah Moore, I think, had a tight
Oh, okay, perfect. Yep, I missed him. Gotcha.
So, yeah, Phil, you want to read those tight end dudes for us here real quick?
Yeah, so Dalton Schultz at 17.1. We have Josh Oliver, another Baltimore tight end with 15.6. Hunter Henry with 13.8. Travis Kelce with 13.7. Kind of a down. I mean, you might even. That was a down week for Kelce.
Yeah.
And then Hawkinson with 12.8. So it drops. I mean, it's all. Actually, I shouldn't say it drops. It's all like within 5 points of.
There's
each other
not
for
many
the most
duds
part.
at the tight end position,
Yeah.
like except for like I think Mark Andrews is one.
You pretty much could have started any Cowboys tight end and had, a decent showing. Like,
Do you think they get fined for doing the Salvation Army?
yeah, they get fined every time messing with the Salvation Army.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Zeke had to pay a bunch of money.
Is
for
that
just-
why?
do they
Is that
just
why
give it to
Zeke
the
didn't
Salvation
do it this
Army?
year?
I think he's already done it, and what I heard is the tight ends had that whack-a-mole thing planned.
That was a good
for
idea.
And so they
I
were
thought
like,
I thought it was a really good celebration.
It was.
yeah, and they also, what I heard was, I think Dak said it was, they weren't going to do it unless the game was, like they had a good hold of the game. They weren't going to do it when the game was close. So they did that, and I think Dak is actually going to pay it. They don't know yet for sure, but I think that's kind of what they were acting like. I think they said someone in the locker room is going to pay for that fine.
So do all 4 of them, or is it just a Cowboy fine? Does that make sense?
I believe it'd be all 4 of
Yeah.
them.
Wow. And if they're giving the money to the Salvation Army, I mean, it's
I just
kind of a
assume
cool
that Zeke
deal,
doesn't do the
fine.
celebration anymore because he can't jump in the
might-
he can't
What about-
he can't jump in there anymore.
Tears ACL just
can't
in
clear
there.
it.
What
Like,
about
he
what
can't
about
clear it.
Hurdleson or Ferguson? Sorry,
Yeah.
his jump. I was like, oh, and he just
Well,
had
that's
the
why
same
that's
surgery.
why I figured Zeke's just like I'm not going to be able to make it in there anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he might hit the lip and
he,
go head first.
he
into
used
the
to hurdle
bucket.
so much.
oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like he just can't do it anymore.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
This is
I
gonna
mean,
turn
well,
into a
I'm-
Zeke dude podcast pretty soon. Is what
I
we're
love
changing
Zeke.
it.
Yeah, I told you I'm still cool with Zeke. What I was gonna say is like I feel like Hooper's not at the place where he's getting enough action there at tight end, huh?
yeah, I don't.
They started picking up in terms of targets that he was getting this week, but I just don't think it's there with.
You guys see David Njoku's that was the tying touchdown,
Oh,
one-handed
yeah.
catch. That was amazing catch. Then
There's
they
been
won the
some
game in
pretty sweet
OT.
grabs
yeah.
too, huh?
I think Njoku's actually a really good tight end.
Well,
he's
Njoku,
good.
I think his stock is going to go up pretty high when
Watson next
comes
week.
plays.
Yeah. And what's Watson rostered? We can just transition into our waivers here right now. Watson's only 59% rostered right now on Sleeper, which
Definitely pick him up, man.
yeah. So maybe that's so. Yeah, let's get into our early waivers here, and we'll have some more waivers sent to your inbox. Go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com, sign up for that. But I think, depending who your quarterback is, Deshaun Watson at that low of a rostership, you should go put in a high waiver on him if you can. A lot of guys have been, saving him up in there.
And he has the ultimate, revenge game coming up.
He does. He's playing against the Texans.
So he's probably going to be hoping to go off on that game.
My other quarterback ad I haven't. The teams that are on bye are the Panthers and the Cardinals.
This is the last bye week? Last week of buys?
Week 14.
Okay, we
wow.
got some on week 14. Okay.
Good call there, Seth. Mike White, who are the Jets playing next week? Do we know? I can pull it up here real quick. But he looked good. Minnesota, maybe not a game you want to play Mike White in at this point, but he will be. I don't know, their defense will keep him in that game. He'll probably throw him the whole
that's
game.
a fine matchup. I think that's fine.
So Mike White. Jordan, you wanted to just read a couple of these running
Yeah,
backs here?
so
We don't have a ton of waivers.
You just got like Jermichael Hasty with Travis Etienne. I saw today after the game, he said, I'll be straight for next week. So
Okay.
I don't know exactly. Players are always a lot more optimistic, but I mean, he didn't even try to go back in the game. So we'll see.
We're at the time of the year where you need to handcuff these guys.
Yeah,
if
if Etienne's out, like Jermichael Hasty, I think is the guy. So they do have Darrell Henderson. They picked him off waivers. I know Doug Peterson said he likes the way Henderson runs. So, but I mean, Hasty looked pretty good today. So then you got the two Jets running backs with Michael Carter. Probably the way the coach talked about it, probably missing at least a couple weeks with his ankle. Zonovan Knight and Ty Johnson. I'm pretty sure Zonovan Knight was at NC State last year. I could be wrong on that.
He went undrafted, right?
Yeah, but am I right about NC
North
State?
Carolina State.
Yeah.
So a little close.
So no, that's NC State.
I'm just kidding.
So what happened to James Robinson there?
Healthy scratch.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Maybe he just doesn't know the playbook good enough yet or something.
I don't know.
Because I was going to start him in a league, and it would have been really good. Yeah, I have a deep dynasty
So that's something
league,
that we'll have to get more clarity on. Like, is James Robinson? But if Zonovan Knight looked pretty good, Ty Johnson looked good. So both those guys.
Ty Johnson's decent.
Yeah. So just two guys to keep your eye on, especially if we get more news about Carter.
James Robinson's 69% roster
Yeah.
too, so you maybe be able to get.
But
him
it'd
too.
be weird. Maybe it's just the thing where they just know the they're coming to an end, and it's like kind of like we're not going to compete. So just get the Zonovan Knight, rookie kind of involved. So Kyron Williams, he was okay today. I don't know his exact stats, but I saw he had like 8 fantasy points. Just a guy that they're going to continue to use him. I think. Did he get all the work?
He got. I saw Cam Akers had a pretty big run at one point, but Cam Akers didn't finish with a ton of yards there. Spelled Karen.
Carried 11 times for 35 yards and had 3 targets. So I mean, but that's a tough matchup against Kansas City. So we'll see going forward. I do think he's someone to keep an eye on, though, for sure.
They're playing the Seahawks next week, and we just saw what Josh Jacobs did
I
to
think
them.
I think Kyron is definitely someone that should be rostered. I think.
All right. Wide receivers here. I have Treylon Burks. I played against him in that fantasy league where I needed a win. He had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, which
Hey,
that
it all counts.
adds up.
That's his first touchdown, too.
Yeah, first touchdown of his career. But he also had a nice catch where he climbed the ladder. He looks good.
Yeah, he's always been really talented. I think it's always been above the shoulders. That was the reason why he maybe got up to a slow start.
And then Donovan Peoples-Jones at 62%
Yeah,
rostered, got the quarterback upgrade.
He's just better with the
Yeah. I have Paris Campbell, who has not played yet, but he is 62% rostered. Zay Jones, 38% rostered. And then Sky Moore, 25%.
The Sky Moore one is just like they're starting to get hit. 10 catches in his last 2 games, starting to get more involved. It's tough because are you really going to start him? I don't know, but if it's a deep league, he's just someone I think to keep an eye on because with McCall, he's starting to get all that McCall Hardman work where they use him on sweeps and different things, and he's a 2nd round draft pick, is ultra talented. So I just think they're gonna start. I think he's just gonna get more involved every week.
And then, would you put Treylon Burks as the number 1 guy on here? Would you say Donovan Peoples-Jones maybe? Or are you going to say Zay Jones?
Honestly, like out of the wide receivers, I think it may be Zay. I think it may be DPJ though. I think so, or Campbell. Yeah, they're all good. Like Sky Moore, I think is the only one that's more like a flyer than the other four. The other four are pretty solid. The running backs, I think it's JaMychal Hasty if we know ETN is out, just because I think Hasty's the guy there. But if no, Kyron Williams, I think is kind of the guy. I think he's going to start getting more work in LA. They're going to use him quite a bit as the season ends.
What about talking dynasty? I mean, like dynasty leagues, Sky Moore. Like, do you think he turns into an Amon-Ra St. Brown
he
guy,
needs
or
to be
no?
owned in all dynasty leagues for sure.
Yeah, and even right now, it's still pretty low.
I don't know what his ownership in dynasty leagues are. I would assume it's higher.
I saw. I mean, in one
I
of my
bet most
dynasty,
of those is that.
I checked. I mean, I checked and I just used our dynasty league. And it's not based off obviously just our players. It's based off the app, and it's at 15%. Nope, I'm wrong. 92%. Start 15%. My apologies.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So like, yeah, he's definitely like a must in dynasty leagues.
Yeah, my bad.
Honestly, he's like, yeah. If you're like in a deep, I don't know how these keeper leagues work, but if like you're in a deep keeper league, like you have like 14 teams or whatever, and you could pick him up off the waivers and just, I don't know. I think he's a guy who's going to be good at some point. So.
Could he be like an Amon-Ra guy, you think? Or not that good?
Well, the opportunity is not like it was for Amon-Ra last year, but like I think he's going to be
Not this
good.
year, not this year.
I think he's going to be really good. I mean, I think he's better than McCole Hardman. I think he's better than, MVS. So I don't know. We'll see.
And then our last waiver ad we have here, Tyler Conklin.
Well, it's just a Mike White thing. Like all those Jets guys are just way better with Mike White. Like a lot, you could add Elijah Moore to the list. Like they're just better with Mike White. He chucks it. It's kind of how they were with Joe Flacco to start the year. Like these guys are just better quarterbacks than Zach Wilson. They throw the ball better, and it's just an upgrade to the whole entire offense. You see, like Elijah Moore was all pumped up about Mike White and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
they're all excited about him. Like they're just having fun because he just chucks the ball.
Yeah. Foster Moreau, he's just always kind of here. 46% rostered. Hayden Hurst, 67% rostered. There's some guys.
There's just guys in the tight end position. Like I had to use like Evan Ingram today, and that was brutal. Like
I almost put him on the dead list just because people have kind of been talking him up lately for opportunity wise. But
this Trey McBride guy has just not lived up to his potential in Arizona. Like, so I don't know.
all right, guys, I think that about does it. Don't miss our show on Thursday. We're going to have a Christmas song draft. That'll be a lot of fun. But as always, remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.
On today's episode,